It was a journey like no other. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for supporters to walk side by side with their heroes. From Fort William to Glasgow, TravisTrek 5 saw Rangers legends and fans taking on the West Highland Way. Their inspiration and their reason for being there was one man, blind supporter Scott Cunningham. This is the story of their week. Training for TravisTrek 5 begins in earnest 3 months before the walk. In the hills around his Larkhall home, Scott Cunningham and his guide dog Travis need to make sure they're in peak physical condition. They are no strangers to long-distance walks. Since 2003 they've completed the West Highland Way, the Speyside Way, the Southern Upland Way and the mammoth 268-mile Pennine Way. Scott's latest challenge, the West Highland Way from north to south, has never been completed by a guide dog and his owner.
The Legends Trek came together so spontaneously you would not believe, because he had the absolute pleasure of attending the 70th anniversary lunch with the blind party at Ibrox, which I'm a member of, and sitting next to one of my legends, Rangers legends, Terry Hurlock.
Someone said that they was stuck for a do at Ibrox for the blind Rangers boys, and would we be able to come along because someone's not turned up or something like that. So yeah, we said, we went, yeah, bit of lunch and that, still half drunk, and started talking to him around the table, and I said I wouldn't mind do one leg of that or something, or a couple of legs of that, and it snowballed from there really.
And we decided, well, we started in the West Highland Way 5 years ago. Why don't we finish the West Highland Way? Doing it another guide dog first, because Travis is the first guide dog to do all the treks that we've done, and walking back from north to south, finishing at Mulgai to the stadium of the champions elect, and Terry says, well, let's get Rangers involved.
Do you think Terry Hurlock knows what he's let himself in for?
A wee bit. But thankfully Terry knows now. We keep very close contact. Every other night we're talking, and the enormity has just really hit both of us. We cannot believe how this wee chat with a blind at the blind lunch has snowballed into such an absolute monster, a blue-nosed monster that is going to come down that hill from Fort William all the way down to the slopes of the Ibrox Park, with people coming from all Britain, taking on such a brilliant challenge. People that's never walked before, as I say, and thanks to Terry, he's made it all possible. He kept everything ticking over, and guys, massive.
Leading Scott on the trek will be Travis. His second guide dog, Travis was specially selected to cope with the physical demands of Scott's long-distance walks.
I says to the guide dog people, listen, I want to progress on, I'm looking for a guide dog, not to get me from A to B, the pub, the dentist, the doctor. I'm looking for a dog that's going to do Monroe's ways, going to do long distance, 20-30 miles a day. He says, no, it's a 4-wheel drive you're looking for. So luckily, the Scander database in Britain came up with this. He has a 4-wheel drive, and he was puppy walked in Walsall, thanks to Stan and Sheila for their sterling work there. And luckily enough, he is just the most fittest guide dog in Britain, and the high-heeled ones at the guide dogs will testify to that, and everybody who walks with me will testify to that as well.
I think it's a fella with a dog suit on myself. But I mean, it's you know, they're close to them things, and that's what perhaps we can get enough money to get a few more for other people.
Travis is really is Scott's life. You know, he gets him about from day to day. He wouldn't be able to do his job without Travis. He's obviously a big part of our life. He comes everywhere that we come, gets on very well with my dogs, and enjoys having a romp about with them. But yeah, Travis is a wonderful dog, and he does not do the run-of-the-mill guide dog kind of things. He's one in a million.
95 miles of Scotland's most testing terrain lies ahead. Scott knows all about what he'll be facing on the West Highland Way, The last time he walked the route, he ended up with missing toenails, huge blisters and torn ankle ligaments.
My sighted guide will be at the front. One of my mates in the Marines will tell us, you know, if there's a step, Travis will get us from A to B, but you know, it could be a rock, it could be a boulder. If I boot that, you know, our toenails will come off 10 a penny again. Wee things like that, we really need to keep on top of it, because it's once you lose a toenail, believe me, it's very, very painful and very sensitive. Just watching I don't come a cropper and tumble now and again, because it happens.
And when it gets very narrow, it's very difficult for Travis and Scott to fit along a path. So either the dog will have to go with somebody else and Scott will just have to take our word for it and put his life in our hands, really. But yeah, it'll be very tough for everybody involved.
I'm going to put a saddle on Travis's back, just in case I'll get cramp. But I mean, no, it's going to be good. And no, he's used to it, and he's excited about it. And that's, as we all are.
After almost 6 months of planning and organising, the start of TravisTrek 5 has finally arrived. The team have made their way to the start point in Fort William. Bags have been packed and boots have been tied. Arthur Newman is joining Terry Hurlock for day one. Harold Davis is on hand to wave the group off. After all the build-up, the walking is about to begin.
Yeah, this is the moment everybody was looking forward to, especially for Scott. He's been training for weeks, and well, finally the moment is there. So we're all waiting here actually to start. And it's a pity that it's raining, but I think it's a nice day. We started 14 miles. Let's see how it goes.
No, it's all good. We've got the Pipers here, and we've got the Marines, we've got Proxy Bear. It's all a big giggle.
We're physically, mentally fit, and just really tuned in, ready to rock and roll, just ready to get this moving. It's took ages to organise, a bit of big credit, a bit just a monster to organise, and just rearing and really ready to go, you know.
It's quite a pleasant day, warm, and a bit of drizzle, keep you cool, fine, great. I'm saying that, and I'm not even going in the bloody thing.
How are you feeling, fit and raring to go?
Not really, no. I got a bit of an hangover this morning. I've been doing a bit of training, but it all seems to have got in the pot last night. But I'll give it a good go today.
Day one is a gentle introduction to the West Highland Way. 14 miles from Fort William to Kinlochleven, and it starts with a steady climb up Glen Nevis. Eventually the walkers make their way onto an old military road, and despite the weather, the views become better and better.
Everybody's doing absolutely fantastic, and it's just absolutely buzzing. We're absolutely buzzing. I mean, it's you know, I mean, as I keep saying, it's 5 months prep and organising and stuff, and now that we've got the walking boots on, we're absolutely soaking, really. But absolutely loving it, absolutely loving it. It's
any problems so far, apart from the weather?
No, the weather isn't a problem. We've got all the gear and that, and just loving it, you know. And the partner with everybody is just brilliant, you know. I mean, everybody's bouncing off each other and just having one brilliant laugh. And keep on getting the phone's never soaked with text messages saying the mere donations and the money's flowing in. So it's just absolutely brilliant. Could not ask for a better start, you know.
With no sign of the rain letting up, the team pushes on along the Great Pass, a route flanked by no less than 11 Munros. Wet but no less enthusiastic, the trek approaches Kinlochleven. It's a steep and treacherous climb down into the village, the trickiest part of the route for Scott and Travis.
Day one was absolutely brilliant, Michael, although we're absolutely soaked and, you know, absolutely really soaked. We were actually walking, but it was puddles in our shoes at the end there, It was then was pretty mentally draining for us because Don was he was absolutely brilliant with his footsteps, and that, but it's really ragged at the end there. So every step means something, you know what I mean? Because it could be a tumble, a fall. The toenails that I lost the last time, but really been extra careful this time. And the way down there, it was a wee bit mentally training. But apart from that, it was absolutely brilliant. Everybody's had a rare time, you know, and it just feels so good to have day one under our belt now, you know.
Day 2 and a reprieve from the wet and windy conditions the day before. The sun is shining, but there's devastating news for the group. Guide dog Travis has picked up an injury, and it's decided he'll not be walking today.
Fortunately, Michael, it looks like Travis has got a strain. We think it's a muscle strain on his right shoulder or so, and he's limping fairly badly. What we're going to do is we're going to get him to the vets up at Fort William, give him a resty. I'm going to soldier on. I'm going to do something I've never done before. I think I've been blind 15 years and now going to try tackling hills and whatnot, the terrain I've never tackled before without a dog. So going to just need to listen to every step of the way, every instruction that's given to me, since we don't have a steering. So it's going to be more of a challenge than anything else today for everybody concerned, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes today, and looking forward to hopefully a Rangers win and Travis getting better later on.
Without Travis, the group sets off from Kinlochleven. It's a situation Scott is quite unused to. Girlfriend Helen becomes his guide for the day. Gordon DL joins the team for the 9-mile walk to King's House. It's a route which reaches a height of 550 metres, as well as taking in the infamous Devil's Staircase.
You couldn't buy this weather, you know, it's been absolutely brilliant. Nice wee climb just to get the cobwebs moving and get rid of the entertainment that we drunk last night. But all going well, mate, all going well. It's a totally different sensation. Helen's doing brilliant guiding me. And it's totally different to Travis, because you tend to grip a lot more with the soles of your feet, you know. You're just a wee bit more tenser, because usually you've got all the information for the harness and whatnot. But Helen's doing absolutely fantastic guiding us, you know.
After a long climb, the group eventually reaches some of the more exposed pathways. Thanks to glorious weather, the stunning views all around are revealed. The Devil's Staircase is reached. It's another difficult downhill section for the walkers to overcome. With care and a little patience, Scott's progress remains unhalted. Without Travis by his side, it's a totally different walking experience for Scott, a tougher and more mentally demanding experience. Clear, concise communication between him and Helen is vital.
Just doing off the Devil's Staircase there, which was particularly ragged and rocky, and Helen's been absolutely brilliant. Make sure that there's not a footstep out of place. The 1, 2, 3 system that we're using. Number 2 being, you know, kind of medium, moderate, you know, rocky. Nothing too extreme, but we're using the number 1 to be the, you know, the right kind of rigorous stuff. And number 3 is just nice and, you know, we're back onto 3s. I can feel now, just nice and, you know, nice and walkable. It's not nothing. You're going to kick your toenails off or anything like that.
With the Devil's Staircase beaten, it's an easy, flat few miles towards the end of the route at King's House.
Trav just now, he's Still a wee bit stiff, Michael. You know, it's just that bit of muscular thing. We're happy to give him another day rest tomorrow. Just let him rest it off. He's just really kind of jerked it, you know, because of the extreme conditions yesterday. It was nothing that anybody at all could have planned for or could have thought was going to happen. Today was it was totally different. Absolutely, you know, a totally different sensation, totally different experience. Helen was just a superstar. Made sure there was not a foot out of place. And she was that good. I actually called her Travis at one point. I was that tired and that tuned into everything. I said, "Well done, Travis." You know what I mean? So, you know, we've had so many laughs today, so many brilliant people to keep everything. There was not a minute you could have a down minute, you know, because the banter up there was just unbelievable.
Yeah, very enjoyable. The most important thing, I think, we'll get the best day with the weather. A lot of lads were complaining about yesterday, including yourself. So enjoyable. It was a hard walk. It was a hard 9 miles, and you've got to take your hat off to Scott. You know, walking up and down there. He didn't have Travis today. It was a difficult one for him, but everybody made it through, and it's great to be finished.
It was in 1993 that Scott Cunningham's life changed forever. In the space of 3 weeks, without warning, he completely lost his eyesight. A rare hereditary condition was to blame.
End of September came, forklift driver with a Royal Mail, things are getting a bit hazy, real bad headaches. Whipped us into Southern General. First couple of weeks in October, effectively been 3 weeks, I lost my sight. But my eyes looked dandy, my eyes looked perfect. If you needed eyes, you could have my eyes, they're no good to me. It's optic nerve behind the eye, sending a message to the brain is eroded away. Mine's is totally white, yours is pink, sending a message to the brain, mine's is no. So, the DNA tests tell it's a hereditary condition called Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy, where no message gets sent to the brain. You know, I'm just follow sights and sounds now, just sounds everywhere. You just need to tune into where the voice is coming from, where the sound's coming from.
That must have been an incredibly difficult time for you when you lost your eyesight. Was it scary? What were you feeling at the time?
Sheer hell. It was absolute sheer hell. You know, a lot of pain. The suddenness of it all impacted the full family. Luckily enough, brilliant family, brilliant set of friends helped me through it. Medication I was on for the pain lasted well over a year. It really took the legs away from us, you know. Car in the driveway, good job, good steady job. You know, world at my feet. Is it where Rangers playing well at the time? There's always a bonus. I've never seen Rangers get beat since 1993. Never seen Celtic score a goal against Rangers since 1993. A lot of Rangers fans would pay a lot of money for that, mate, you know what I mean? A lot of money. So there's always bonuses.
Day 3 of TravisTrek and the group is raring to go. Fine weather and good walking the previous day means spirits are high. Scott is ready for the 12 miles to Bridge of Orchy, but there's still no return for Travis.
He's still got a bit of injury, so we're keen on another day, just chilling, just relaxing, letting him go. It's definitely a muscle, you know, he's just did a bit of muscle strain and whatnot. So we're just giving him a day off, just letting him chill and whatnot. It's very much mentally draining for me, Michael. It's turned into we've turned this challenge just on its head because it's something else now. I lie in my bed each night thinking about challenges in life, and this has turned into one hell of a challenge. It's an absolutely fantastic challenge, and it's no the ideal situation that Travis is in a wee bit of pain just now. But the actual fact that I've got a challenge ahead of me each day now is just. It's alright. I'm buzzing for that aspect, but the aspect that he's not too well, it's doing my nothing. But I'm looking forward to just this challenge again today.
Mark Haitley joins the group and the walkers set off. It's easy going for the first mile or two. That's before confusion sets in. It's been suggested the group is going the wrong way. The Marines at the front plough on regardless, but eventually have to admit defeat. They're lost. There's no easy way back to the West Highland Way, so with their tails firmly between their legs, it's a return to the day's starting point.
We'll just do a wee minor. We've went on the wrong track, Michael. A couple of miles off. Our options was there to get through a river And we've got big Mark's kids and whatnot, and trainers, which isn't going to be good if they're absolutely soaking blisters and stuff. So what we're going to do is walk back here. A wee logistical error, I think. And we'll go back there and get right on the West Highland Way again.
Who's getting the win for this one?
I will pass this on to the Royal Marines. I mean, the last time we done this, we actually ended up a Monroe, which we should never have been on. So things like this happens all the time, and it just adds a bit of fun to it. And it lightens the load a wee bit and gets the banter going, you know what I mean? This is what it's all about. Character building.
4 miles and 60 minutes later, the walk is back on track. After crossing the busy A82 road, the route passes the Glencoe Ski Centre. The landscape is slowly changing. From the rugged beauty of Glencoe, the empty, desolate Ranach Moor is approaching. Back on the walk today, 2 Rangers supporters who finished yesterday's stage hours ahead of everyone else, all so they could see their team in action.
Yeah, myself and one of the other guys, Simon, we got up at silly o'clock, got up about 6 o'clock in Kinlochleven. Set off early to do the 9 miles to King's House, to then be picked up by one of my friends from Fort William in a very fast car to take us down to Falkirk to get to the game.
It's always worthwhile, got to see the Rangers. You've got to take the good and the bad. You can't always expect to win every game, and you can't expect to be a great team all the time, but as long as you're always going, you should always go and see your team if you can. And I'm a great believer, if you're going to sing follow, then use the actions and follow on.
Today's terrain is much easier going, mostly wide tracks and paths. Helen is well into the rhythm of guiding Scott. There's even time for an impromptu reunion with Travis.
He's definitely getting there. Much better, Michael. You can even tell his reaction there, you know what I mean? The other day there, he wasn't even willing to pay his usual happy sell because he was in a wee bit of pain and whatnot. But you know what I mean? Totally different here. He's rolling about and he's telling his stories. And back to the Trav of a few days ago.
That's the last we'll see of Travis on the West Highland Way. The decision is made to rest him until Saturday. Close to the finish, there's a steep climb to be overcome, a real test to end the day. Waiting at Bridge of Orchy, there's a well-earned drink for the team. The walkers wake up to severe weather warnings on day 4. After 2 dry stages, the wind and rain are back. The walkers, along with Gordon Jury, are preparing for the worst. As the halfway point of TravisTrek 5 approaches, Scott has to rethink his fundraising target of £10,000.
The last 24 hours odd, £5,000 we've been handed in. Terry's mate came all the way up from London, flew into Glasgow, got a hire car to come up here, £2,000. Boys dived on a bus to come up here from Midlothian, over £2,000, George. Phone calls this morning, hundreds getting donated online, cheques getting handed in. And now we've just heard about a gig getting organised for us as well when the trek's finished in the next couple of weeks, another couple of thousand, whatever. And absolutely no idea what we've smashed, what our target was. That's been smashed. It'll take weeks to find out what we've got, Michael, but it's humbling. It's really touching that everybody's brilliant.
Bridge of Orchy to Crianlarich is today's schedule. 13 miles of fairly gentle terrain. There's no break in the rain though, and it's a soaking wet group of walkers who make their way towards the half-time refreshments at Tyndrum. Waiting back at base is the TravisTrek support team. Work is continuing behind the scenes to make sure every day of the trek runs smoothly.
Well, I work with Scott in Centre 1. I'm sitting next to him, I'm quite friendly with him. and we're not walkers, so when this was all getting planned, me and my husband offered to come and do the merchandising and the admin and all the other stuff that's needing done.
We've been setting up stalls, we've been selling the merchandise, registering the walkers as they come every day, and moving stuff on from location to location, and then meeting up later on.
We've been involved in the organisation, website, speaking to people that's involved in the walk, and basically moving baggage from one place to another, picking people up and just making sure everything's there for the walkers when they arrive at their finishing points and when they start the walk.
Really, really lucky to have such a wonderful, brilliant team alongside us. They're such an integral, important part of this thing, because it's massive now. You know, it's not like the ones that we'd done away at the start when it was only me and a couple of mates and Travis doing the full thing. But when, you know, this takes so much involvement now. My girlfriend Helen has been an absolute star with the guiding, as you know. We've got Shona, Lindsay, we've got Julie, we've got Phil, who's selling all the merchandise. It's just an amazing team that we've got here, and I'm just so lucky to have them.
On day 4 of TravisTrek, the rain hasn't stopped. The group is drenched, but spirits haven't been dampened. The sleepy village of Crianlarich is today's final destination, and after 6 hours of walking and another huge effort from everyone involved, it's finally reached.
I've got aches and pains that I forgot all about and whatever, but no, a fantastic day. It's obviously been a bit tough with the conditions whatever, but there was a few dodgy big hills and that in there as well and whatever, but no, as you say, the atmosphere was great. We all sort of chipped in, we had a wee chat along the road and that, the Marines and that were here as well, we had a chat with Scott and that as well, so all in all it's been a good day.